Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. Thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate your time and support on the channel. So today is my weekly Shop My Stash. I can't believe how fast a week comes round. So we're going back to the old way of doing it, guys. I have said that in my previous video, but you're not going to see that for a while. So what we're going to be doing is I pulled 2 weeks worth of eyeshadow palettes out 2 weeks ago. I've used a week of those eyeshadow palettes, so I just need to use the other ones. I'm going to show you what they are. So for this week we're going to be picking out my face products, so foundation, primer, blush, bronzer, highlight, all that we've been doing for the last few months now. I've still got some palettes in that I need to be trialing because a lot of them are the chopping block palettes, so I've done about a week's worth. So we've still got a week to do in the drawer. I'll show you what those are just to refresh you. And then next week what we'll be doing is going back to the Shop My Stash, the old school way, where we pick palettes out as well. I'm just getting fed up of having them in for 2 weeks, if I'm being honest. I like pulling things weekly. I'm used to having a weekly Shop My Stash, and I like to pull palettes as well. So I just thought I'd go back to my old way of doing it. So guys, what I'm going to do now, because I don't want to ramble on too much, I'm going to take you over to my dresser and I'm going to show you what we used last week, and I'm going to tell you what my feelings are on the makeup that I used, if I'm going to be decluttering anything, if I'm going to keep it in for another rotation. You know the drill by now. Let's head over to the vanity and Shop My Stash, guys. Right guys, so here we are. So let's go through the first drawer. Okay, so I've been using this as a under eye setting powder, this Wet n Wild neutral beige photo focus pressed powder. It's really nice. I'm going to put it back though and we'll pull something else. So yeah, hit significantly more pan, but yeah, that one can go back for now. That one is Project Pan, so we don't need to talk about that. So this though guys, I am a little bit disappointed. It's not my shade at all. It's the lighter shade Porcelain. Porcelain has normally got a little bit more pink in it than this does. So what I've had to do, today I've mixed it with the PS My Perfect Colour Perfect Finish foundation, and that's also in Porcelain, and they're not the same shade at all. So yeah, I've mixed both of those together. This one is a lot more, can you see, a lot more pinker. And then that one is just, it's got a lot of yellow in it, so it's not really a foundation for me unless I mix it. This one is Project Pan, and I also mixed it with this Revolution Concealing Glow, and you can tell that's a lot lighter as well. So yeah, it's definitely not Porcelain, so we'll leave that one up there. Concealer, I've been using this e.l.f. one, this e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer with, I didn't pull this last week in the Shop My Stash because I'd forgotten, but I used it with the Glossier Stretch Concealer in G12. I'm going to put this one back and I'm going to pull something else, and I'm going to keep this one in because I've really been enjoying using it. I only used this one time, so it's the Hydrating and Radiance Primer by Natural Collection, but guys, I have finished this completely. I even cut the top off, so I've now finished my Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer, so that will be going in empties. So yeah, I will be really happy to get this out of the collection. So I'm just going to leave it up here for the time being. Then we've got these shots. So we've got the Pore Refining Primer, I'll keep this one in. And then we've got the L'Oreal Infallible Anti-Fatigue Primer. This one's really nice. It's very runny. That one can go back. Right, I didn't use this once. It needs to stay in then. So it's the Becca Ignite in Passion. So that one can stay in. Obviously my SPF will stay in as well. It's the only one I've got. This NYX White Base is in an unofficial Project Pan, so I can show you. I'm nearly done with it, guys. So close. And then I'll use the W7 Get Set one. That's full. Right, so that's that drawer. Second drawer down is bronzers and blushes. So I've used this, I think, maybe once or twice. It's okay. I will keep it. It's a glowy bronzer and I don't have many glowy bronzers in my collection. It's called Glow Up and I got this from Poundland, so that's that one. Right, blushes. What am I putting back? So we can put the Jellyfish Super Shock blush back. Now, this wasn't as frightening as I thought it would be. I used this once, maybe twice, so that one can go back. This Essence blush can go back as well. It's really, really nice. This will make a really nice blush for autumn and winter. So that's that one. I think I'm going to put this back as well. I've used this quite a bit and it's been in 2 weeks. So it's a Stila convertible colour in Petunia. Now this is a lip and cheek duo. I don't use it for lips, but I have used it quite a lot as a blush and I really do like it. So that's that. This one can go back as well. So this one is the Kiko Rebel Bouncy Blush in 01 Velvet Peach. I've not used it this week, but I used it quite a bit last week, so that one can go back. I think I'm going to keep them 2 in. I really do like them and I've not used them as much as I want to. Actually no, we'll put the Flower Blush Bomb back because I've got a couple of liquid blushes that I want to put in. So we're going to keep this one in. This is quite new. I think I'll keep the Hourglass one in as well. I really, really like it and it's what I'm wearing today. It's in the shade Luminous Flush. It's just a little mini. So yeah, I want to use that a little bit more. And I use this as cream blush as well. This lipstick. This one is in the shade Stoned Rose. It's really, really pretty. And it makes a really, really nice blush. You just look really radiant when you use it. So if you don't like this lipstick, then I would recommend using it as a cream blush. I mean, look how radiant it's looking. And then we've got another bronzer here, but that's Project Pan as well. Highlighters. Right, so we've got a few Project Pan things here, so I won't talk too much about them. Haven't used that in quite a while. It's kind of an unofficial Project Pan, I guess. I did use this one, so this one is the Becca in the shade Opal. And it looks, yeah, I thought so. It looks like we're getting baby pan here. Yeah, I think what I'll do is keep it in and see how much pan I can get by the next rotation. So that's that. We'll put Goddess back by Real Her. I really like that. It's real, real pretty. And I'm really, really glad to be putting this 0-for-1 back. I used it quite a lot. Now, I used this shade by itself once. I've used them 2 together. So them 2 shades are Star Island and Rodeo Drive. I didn't use Barley as it's far too dark for me. It makes a nice eyeshadow. I think I used Pillow Talk. Yeah, I used Pillow Talk once. And I don't think I used Blissful. So I have had my fair share of this. I mean, I've been doing makeup all week and I've probably used this 5 times out of the 7, so I'm a little bit fed up of it, to be honest. So yeah, I want it to go back. So that's that. I think I'm going to put this back for a while as well, just because I'm running out of it and I don't know where else I can get one from. I've tried Beauty Bay on so many different occasions, they don't do it. I don't know if they're doing Wet n Wild products anymore on their site, but I've not seen anything. So yeah, I'm going to put that back and we'll pull the Revolution powders that I normally use. So we've got the Too Faced Sugar Peach. I really like using this. I used it once or twice. I think it was twice, but I used it twice for the highlighter mainly. I used this blush once, this Sugared Peach blush, and I don't really like it. It's like the eyeshadows from Colourpop, like a sequin eyeshadow, because it's got a lot of glitter in it. You can't really see it when it's on the finger, but I could see the glitters in my face. I mean, that's it there. Can see the glitter a little bit. When it was on my cheeks, I could see it. This blush here is really, really pretty. I absolutely adore that blush. And you can use this palette as Iron Face rather than just face. So, you know, if I don't like it, if I feel like I don't like it, I'll just use it as an eyeshadow palette. But yeah, I really like the shades that I used. Apart from this, I did notice after a while that the glitters weren't there anymore, so yeah, that one can go back in the collection. And then we've just got the Revolution and Imagination Highlight to the Moon palette that I used probably about 3 or 4 times out of 7, just because I want to use the bronzer up. So we've got the Max Factor Miracle Veil. I don't know how I feel about this. It's supposed to be radiant. Now my skin doesn't look any more radiant than if I used a normal powder. No, it doesn't. So it's going back anyway for the time being. And also I've been using this a lot. So this is my Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel. I can show it you. It's an unofficial project pan really. But look at that dip, guys. It's just getting bigger and bigger now. I'm really impressed with it. So yeah, we're going to be working on that some more. So that's just going to stay here. Right, okay. Right, okay guys, so all this is going to be going back into my collection. I'm going to do that now, and then I'll take you over to, actually no, I've not shown you the eyeshadow palettes. Sorry guys, because I'm not used to showing the eyeshadow palettes at this stage, I'd forgotten to do that, so let me just go and do that now. Not enough room to swing a cat. So get this out first. Let me just put that there for a minute. Finally! Right, okay, so we're going to be talking about the palettes. I've just used this one today. So it's the BH Cosmetics Marble Collection in Warm Stone. Now they did a cool one as well. And it's really old, guys, at this point. So the shades that I used was this one, this cool toned brown here. Then I went in with this one here, which is more a neutral brown, and they just wasn't showing up to my liking. And then I went in with these, and I didn't really like the mattes, but I really liked how this one showed up. And then I went in with this for the one for the inner corner highlight, and I didn't like that, so I went over it with this, and I really like this shade. So overall, I didn't like probably 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes, but I think that's the way I applied them, so I'm going to keep it in the collection for a little while longer. If I still don't like them, then I think I'm going to be taking some shades out of this next year and trying to pan them, especially this shade here, as it's so beautiful, and maybe this shade, and maybe a couple of the bronze shades down here. So yeah, it could be on my list of pan that palettes for 2022. So that one's going back in the collection for now. So another one that was on the chopping block is this one. So this one is just my self-made palette. So we've got some Makeup Geek ones here, but I didn't try those. And then we've got these 6 shades here. They're from a palette called Pretty Little Palettes. They're from a palette called Pretty Little Palette, the magical one. And they are absolutely stunning shades. I absolutely love the way the look came out. So yeah, I will definitely be keeping this for sure. If you want to check out my Instagram, there's a picture on my Instagram of me wearing eyeshadows from this palette. I used all 6 eyeshadows to do a rainbow eye, and it looked really nice. Then we've got the dreaded Kylie Burgundy palette. So this one was also on the chopping block. I'm going to keep it for a little while longer, and what I wanted to do with this palette is, because I'm terrified of burgundy shades, I focus more on the burgundy shades. What I did notice like throughout the day is this one, I think, because it felt like on the lid, this one was incredibly dry. Except it's really smooth, so it must have been that one there. That one was making this dry. The whole eyelid was really dry about 2-3 hours after I applied it. So I don't think I'll be using this shade again. I'll use that shade. I've been complimented on... Yeah, that's really dry. I've been complimented when I did the look. So they're the 2 shades that I used, and I also used this shade here, and I think I went in with this shade here as well, just to deepen out the look, and everyone said it looked really nice on Instagram. But yeah, I wouldn't normally be drawn to burgundy shades, but I'm not going to declutter it, just purely because there is only 2 burgundy shades in it. And I've only just thought about this now. If I cover them, then we've still got like, what, 4, 5, 6, 7 neutral eyeshadows, so I could use it for that. I mean, this is a really pretty bronze. I actually do quite like that shade. It's a unique burgundy. And then we've got a darker bronze down here. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping it, and I'm going to try and focus on it a little bit more. I just need a wipe. Okay. Right, so Star Wars The Child. I like the looks I came up with. So this is what it looks like. It's a beauty. I really did like the looks what I came up with. This shade though, guys, I don't like the formula at all. I don't know what kind of eyeshadow that is. Some people are saying it's Super Shock. That to me does not feel like the rest of my Super Shocks. It's very, very sheer. I know it's a glitter topper, but it's just really, really sheer. My Wild Nothing palette has got some in as well, and it's just like, why are you putting them in? Even the Elsa palette's got them in, and I just don't like them. That's never going to be a reason for me to declutter it though, because it is another cute palette and it will always stay in my collection, and I do like the rest of the eyeshadows. I think this colour story is absolutely gorgeous. What are your thoughts on these shades, guys? If you've got this palette, what's your thought on that? I would love to know what you think. So that's, I've completely dirtied this. Let's try and clean it up a bit. I hate cardboard packaging. The Kylie one's like that as well, but I'm not too bothered. I mean, look how filthy she is while we're cleaning things. See, this is cardboard, but it's like vinyl. I mean, it just comes off dead easily. Right, so that's that. That one can go back. I also used Coast to Coral. I did some amazing looks with this palette. Absolutely loved it to pieces, and it doesn't have a shade like the Voice. So yeah, I was really, really happy with this. The only thing is with this, it's got 2 sequin shades. I wouldn't mind this shade not being a sequin shade, and them just putting 1 in. You know, I think they've gone a little bit to town on it by putting 2 in. Then we've got some Super Shock. So I used this with the Child palette and it looked really, really nice. It's the shade Telepathy. It's one of Kathleen Light's Super Shocks. So I used that. It's like, what I mean is, that is a Super Shock. You can tell that's a Super Shock. With the Voice, you just can't tell. It could possibly be a Super Shock eyeshadow, but a very sheer one. Like I said, the more glitter toppers, they just don't show up. And then I used La La with Coast to Coral. Again, it's another Super Shock, so that one can go back. And I also used this Oon shade with Coast to Coral. I don't think I used it with the Child palette. I pulled it mainly like for in the corner, because with Coast to Coral, it's a lovely palette, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have an inner corner highlight. I used this once as an inner corner highlight, but it looked too dark, and I think this palette is a great companion palette for the Baby Got Peach. And also I think the Star Wars The Child palette is great with the Just My Look. So yeah, they're great companion palettes. I also use this with the Child palette, so it's the Natasha Denona Chromium in Scarab. I'm going to keep that in because I've made a vow to myself to at least use that once a week or once every fortnight. So it'll be once a week now that I'm going to try and use that. I just need to hold off on the palettes and only pull what I think I can use in that week. So yeah, that's all the palettes that I've used and the Super Shocks this past week. I'll show you what we're going to be using this upcoming week in a while. I just need to go and put all that away, and then we can choose the new products for the upcoming Shop My Stash, and I can show you the palettes that are still in, I'll be using them, and then next week we'll go back to the old way of shopping my stash. Right guys, so I'm going to show you the palettes first, and then we're going to go and shop my stash. So let me move this camera back a little bit. Right, so we've got this Lick and Lash Beauty, which is on the chopping block. So you can see I've obviously used it. I've used that shade quite a lot. Now the pans aren't that thick. Obviously I haven't used that much, and we've hit pan there. So yeah, I just want to see if I want to keep it. I mean, it looks beautiful. You know, it's got every colour that you could want in here. It's got some pops of colour down here, and then your neutrals. It does look nice, but I've never really used it much, so I just want to see if I want to keep that, maybe do a couple of looks with it. I thought I could combine that one with the YSL makeup palette. So tomorrow I'm going to be using the Lick and Lash Beauty for like crease shades and I'll probably use that for outer V and lash line. But yeah, definitely a crease shade I'll use the Lick and Lash Beauty for. And then I think I'm going to be using these three shades here, and I'll use that blush so you can see what it looks like. It is on the chopping block, but I don't know if I'll ever be able to get rid of it, just purely because it's the only YSL product I've got. There's those two, and then there's only two more palettes. So there's the I Heart Makeup Chocolate in Rose Gold, also on the chopping block. So it looks like that. I want to see if the formula is the same as I remember it. If it's not, then that one will be going. And then this is a new palette, but I just don't know how I feel about it. Every time I look at it, I'm thinking, do I want to keep it? So it's Rachel and Rachel Leary's Goddess and the Go palette. Now it's got bronzer, it's got blush, it's got highlighter, it's got all these really pretty shades here, but it's very warm toned, isn't it? So I want to see if I want to keep it or declutter it. So yeah, they're really all the chopping block ones that we're going to be focusing on this upcoming week, and then we can pull some new palettes next week. So I'll just pop this drawer back. Right, so I haven't done a Pretty Random Chooses My Makeup for this week. I'm just going to choose my makeup. So let's do it. Can you see the drawer? Not much. I think I'm going to put... Oh my gosh. Phew, it's not broken. I think I'm going to put this Revolution Glass Skin Primer back, and we'll pull the Glossier one. So let's get this out of the carton. Yeah, so we're going to use that this week. I think I'm just going to get rid of that carton. Sorry for bumping you. I'm just wondering if to pull another primer. I think I'm going to bring this one in as a Project Pan primer, just because we've used the Ole Henriksen one. So we'll bring that one in. I think that should do it. If I want anything else, I can always come to the drawer and tell you if I've added it in. Foundation wise, I'm just wondering what I should be working on. I want to use my Flower Beauty Light Illusion. I've not used this for a while, so let's use that. Concealer wise, I've got a concealer in already, but I want to use something with it. I think I'm going to go for this one, this e.l.f. one. I'm going to chuck this cardboarded away as well. Just a different shade to my other concealer by e.l.f. that I've got. That's why I kept it in the cardboard, but it's starting to rip now. So yeah, we're going to be using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in Fair Rose. So that's that. Powders, let's see. want to pull a powder foundation. I want to pull both of these just purely because I got a brush and it says you should use it. It's by Zoeva. It says you should use it for powder foundation. Let me go and get it. Right, so this is it. It says you should use it for powder foundation. It's the 107 Powder Polish Zoeva brush. So I'm going to try it, like, I think I'll try that on camera. Let me just pop that back there. I'm going to try mixing this one. So this one's in the shade Porcelain, which is really, really light. It's far too light for me. And then this one is in the shade Medium. So I'll just try mixing them together. Yeah, that's a better tone for me. You can see quite a pink undertone. If I mix them, it might work out really well. So we'll use them. So we've got like 2 different foundations there. We don't need any more. But I do need some powders. I need something for my under eye, which I don't really have much here. Try this one. So the e.l.f. Sheer Tint Finishing Powder we'll try using for the under eye. That's in the shade Fairlight. And then I want to pull, I think, my Too Faced powder here. The Ethereal Setting Powder for the rest of my face. So that's that. Bronzer. I don't know whether to pull the Natasha Denona, the bronze and highlighting powder, or my Physicians Formula. I've not really had that much use out of this either. There are 2 bronzers that are quite new to the collection and I've not had much use out of. Let's do some swatches. That's really smooth. Right, so that's the Natasha Denona one. Let's swatch the Physicians Formula. And I've also got the Chanel one and my Imagination and Revolution one. Right, part of me wants to use the Natasha Denona. Let's pull that. Do we need any illuminators? No, because I've already put something in. Right, I think that's everything. So we've got foundation, primers, concealer, powders and bronzer, and that's everything that I've got in this drawer. Let's move over to my bigger collection and we can choose the rest of the products. Okay, so let's go into blush. Blush, I've got quite a few new products. I got this yesterday. So it's the L'Oreal Infallible Blush Paint Longwear High Impact Stick in the shade Tangerine Please. So that just looks like that. So we'll pull that one. I'll show you. I'll do some swatches when we get over to the desk. I've also got another Barium Fresh Face Cheek and Lip Tint in the shade Summer Rose. It finally came. After the other one didn't come to me. I'm just trying to think what else. I think that's enough for cream blush because I've got another cream blush in there. So part of me really wants to pull this Anastasia one. Look how pretty it is. Especially this shade here. I'm going to pull that because that might look good over the cream blush. So yeah, we'll pull that as well. Over the L'Oreal cream blush. So we've got 1, 2, 3, maybe one more. I'm really being drawn to the Natasha Denona, guys. Yeah, let's pull the Natasha Denona in because we've got the bronzer. So we're going to be using that again. It's not been that long since I used it, but it really is beautiful. And then we'll leave it there. We don't need any more blushes. It's hard, like, for me now, because I'm used to pretty random choosing my makeup. It's hard when it comes to me being able to choose my own. So, highlighters. I want to pull this. I've not used this in such a long time. The Revolution XX. That looks like that. And then I've got a Doll Beauty one that I haven't used. I think they're similar shades though. Hang on. So that's the Doll Beauty one. I've not used that in such a long time. No, this one's more a champagne gold and that one's more pink. So we'll pull them two highlighters. And I don't know if I want to pull any more because I think I'm going to pull a palette. Yes, I bought a new palette, so I'm going to pull that as well. So maybe just one more highlighter then. Maybe one of these, because these really should be on the chopping block. I don't know how I feel about them. So we've got rose gold, we've got pearl, and we've got champagne, maybe pearl. So that's that. And maybe this, I'm probably not going to use it all. Well, use all the highlighters, but I've not used this in a hot second either. So it's a Revolution Pearl Lights Loose Highlighter. This is the only loose highlighter I've got, so I'd really like to use that. Like I said, I've not used it in such a long time. And then we're going down to the second drawer. Right, so I'm going to show you the new palette because you won't have seen it yet because it's in a haul and it's not on the channel yet. So it's the Kors Bronze and Glow palette. So I want to use this quite a bit. This looks absolutely beautiful. So this is the packaging. That's what it looks like. Pretty plain, right? Just wait until you see how it looks inside. Look at that, guys. So you're getting a highlighter, this lovely blusher or blush topper. This is meant to be a bronzer, but even for my fair skin it looks really light. So I'm going to pull that. Don't need the box. Oh no, there's another thing. Right, I'm going to have to put some of the highlighters back because I definitely want to pull this. I'd forgotten I'd even had this in the collection, but this is new as well. So it's the Huda Beauty Glow Obsessions Light Glow. Isn't she pretty? Definitely has to come as well. So that looks like that. And again, you wouldn't have seen this because I've hauled it. But it's not on the channel yet. So I'm showing you things before you can actually see them in the haul. Hope you don't mind. And I think that's it. Let me go and get some of these highlighters that can go back. Right, so I'm going to put the Revolution one back then. And I'm going to put this one I got from Poundland back. Right, let's just do that. Where are you? And I think I'm gonna keep the Doll Beauty one. I think I'm going to keep the Doll Beauty one out. Right, and there is this blush, but I think I'll bring that in next week. So yeah, we won't pull that yet. Them two palettes are just the main thing that I wanted to pull. And then the third drawer down is palettes, so you don't need to see them until we actually need to pull palettes, which we don't at this point. And then what we need to do is pull some lipsticks. So I'm going to put all the things away like I normally do and show you some swatches on like the face products, and then we'll pull some lipsticks for the week. Okay guys, so let's do this. Let me just take the drawers out. Don't think I've got room for everything. Right, so that's that drawer done. now blusher and bronzer. So take that out of the box. Right, so I'm going to show you what this looks like. Excuse me, I'm choking. So that is the shade, so it's a really nice tangerine shade. Look how bright it is. But when you blend it in, it just looks really, really nice. And really, really radiant. I wouldn't say then that putting this, what shade is it? Miami shade, this one here, over the top would be a good idea, because I do like a radiant blush. But yeah, that still looks nice. I might try it like that one day. The powder is going to have to go up on the Too Faced powder is going to have to go on top of the Chanel bronzer. That is also not going to fit anywhere, so I'll have to find a place for that. Let's see where I can put these. Right, so this Too Faced palette needs to go back. I forgot to put that back. That one can go next to the Revolution one, so I know where it is. This one can fit in there. Right, so that's pretty much everything sorted there. There's just a few things here that will have to stay there because I don't have room for them. Don't have room for the Japanese primer either. So guys, that's everything there. So we've got my Too Faced powder, my Chanel bronzer, Glossier Future Dew, Japanese Radiance primer, Revolution Pearl Lights. So they're all going to stay there. Then in the drawers, well, that was really clever of me, guys. So I've just edited the entire video and I've realised that I didn't pull lipsticks. So some of these lipsticks we're going to keep in. This is last week's Shop My Stash. So some of them we're going to keep in and some of them I'm putting back. So we can put Jeffree Star Posh Spice back because I used that a couple of times. I think I only used this once and I still don't know how I feel about it. So this is the YSL in 06. Let's use that a little bit more. And this is too cute to go back just yet. So it's the Pure and Barbie in Innovator. So if you didn't see last week's Shop My Stash, that's the shade there. It's just a really nice pink mauve toned lippy. So that one can stay in. This one can go back. It's the Olivia Palermo in the shade Truffle. So that was a collaboration with Ciate. This one can also go back. It's the Wet n Wild Persimmon. Max Hug Me can also go back as well. Did I use this? I have used this one. So this is the Smashbox Inspiration shade. That one can go back. And Nars Damage, I think I used it. I'm almost sure I used that, but I'm going to keep it in for an extra week. So we've kept 3 lipsticks in. We've also got these in, which are Project Pans. So we've got the PS Pro Kiss Proof Liquid Matte Lipstick. the melted liquefied lipstick in Fig, which I don't even use. I don't know why I just don't declutter it. We've got this Tarte Ravishing lip crayon at the back there. Also a Chanel clear gloss, which I also don't use. That's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that back on the top there. And I think just to make it a quick shop my stash, like a quick lipstick shop my stash, is just pull my higher end ones. Right, so I keep the Posh Spice in the box, so let's just pop that back in the box. I don't want anything from that section. Maybe pull this one. So this is the Rosy for Autograph in Silk Rose. It just looks like that. So maybe pull that one. Maybe pull one of these. So I think I'll pull Steeler in the shade Patina. So that's 2. I think I want to pull Velvet Teddy. Yeah, let's pull Velvet Teddy. Let's pull this Christian Dior one. I've not used this in ages and it's a really nice summer colour. So that's 4. So we just need one more now. And I think I'm leaning towards a Too Faced Melting Matte again. Yeah, let's pull Queen Bee. So that's the 5 lipsticks. Let me just put this back. Actually, I'll put the lipsticks back. Ciate. Let me see what Smashbox minis I've got, because we could. That one shouldn't be in there. That's Revolution. That one's Revolution and that one's Essence. They need to go in drugstore. Right, so let's have a look. Tabloid. I think I might be a bit daring and pull that one, just to see if it suits me. If it doesn't, it can go and get decluttered. Okay, let me just pop this back. Right, so now I'll do some swatches. So we'll do the bullet ones first. So I'm going to do the Christian Dior in Rouge Blossom. This one's really nice. I've not worn it in a while. Look how nice that is. Still smells okay. Then we will do the Smashbox Be Legendary in Tabloid. See, look how bright it is. Normally those types of shades just don't suit me. So we're going to see if I'm going to keep or declutter that. And then we've got the MAC Velvet Teddy. Really, really pretty. We've got the Rosy for Autograph in Silk Rose. Did I say? Yeah, Silk Rose. That's really nice as well. Then we've got the liquid lipsticks. So we've got Patina. I don't really like swatching these because I can't get them off once they're on. So that's Patina. Excuse me. And then we've got, sorry, I'm losing my voice, guys. Then we've got Queen Bee by Too Faced. So that's those 2 liquid lipsticks. So they're the 5 lipsticks that I'll be working on this week. Let me just get a wipe quickly, because otherwise they won't come off the liquids. Okay, so let's pop them in the tray. Right, so that's all the lipsticks we're going to be using for the upcoming week. So guys, that concludes my weekly shop my stash for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate your time and support on the channel. It means the absolute world to me. If you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and join our crazy little fam. I'm currently working on a giveaway which will go up in the next month or so, I'm hoping. Please like, it really does help out the channel. Share and comment, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.